So I want to bring you back to 2015. I had maybe 1,000 Facebook friends, 600 people on my email list, and while I had a lot of experience in business, I should say more than most. Well, I had a lot of experience in business. I wasn't, really the way that I was relevant to someone is I would just get in front of them and talk to them and say, hey, you should do this thing or that thing or whatever it might be. Like, it was a proposal type of thing. And at the time, I was actually running an agency. It was a multi-million-dollar agency, but it was a marketing web agency. And I'm recording this video for my 2015-year-old self, okay? And because I think it's going to help you a lot. So if you're an online business owner, you want to increase your relevancy, I want you to watch this video because I think this video is going to make it so you're like, oh, it clicked. So in 2018, I launched this methodology called the ROI Method. You can find the details of that below. You can opt in and get it. It's like a free guide content. It's been seen by hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs. It's epic, okay? And a lot of people come to me and they're working on relevancy. Like, how do I make it so that somebody says, this is my person? Because it's engineered. It's an engineered experience. It's not a just so happens, right? It can happen just so happens, but in reality, it's an engineered experience. I mean, just me saying how I started out this video is relevancy in and of itself. It's being able to engineer language in a way that somebody is able to perk up their ear to say, let me listen in more, okay? So important in business, relevancy is. Because relevancy makes it so that somebody will pay you way more money than the other person. Relevancy will make it so that somebody actually pays attention. Anytime that anyone's paying attention, they end up paying you. So I say this to say, how can you create relevancy? How do you manufacture relevancy? So there's two parts of relevancy. There is let's call it the scientific, whatever that means. Let's say the intellectual side. Science is the wrong word. The intellectual side of relevancy, and then there's the sort of doing side of relevancy. So let's talk about the intellectual side of relevancy for a little bit. And if you're still watching this video, buckle in because this one's going to be a banger for you. All right, so. And also keep in mind, if you opt in below, there's this, and I think you can go to it right now if you want to. If you want to be like, you know what, Scott, you already got me. Like, I want relevancy. It's about $100 or so. I did a 5-day workshop on this. So if you go to www.5daymarketingworkshop.com, we'll link it below. You can just buy it. I did it back in 2020, one of my best workshops, sold more than anything I've ever sold. Most successful workshop. And why? Because shit's good. It is absolutely flaming. It's crazy. All right, so we're back. So relevancy comes down to making it so that when somebody comes across you online, when someone talks to you, you have clarity. You have enough clarity on your identity to the world so that somebody understands how that is relevant to them, okay? Because when we're going around, like I'm out here, doing a few videos like this one. When I'm out here and I'm seeing somebody, I'm like, is this relevant? Is this relevant? Is the information in my surroundings relevant? And so if it's not, it filters, right? The mind will filter the information. Like, there's so much information. There's so much going on around me right now, even though it's pretty quiet. But there's so much going on around me, yet my brain is filtering the information. All right, that's not relevant. That's not relevant. That's not relevant. Everything around me, besides you and me right now, I'm not thinking about. Being able to build relevancy is being able to make it so that somebody's able to pay attention if they need to pay attention. And so that starts with understanding who you want to be able to attract. Actually knowing that person. Okay, so that's first. And we call this avatar in marketing speak. But it is, who's the person where you're like, no, I'm gonna mess up your life in a good way. I'm gonna mess up your life. Like, you are going to be a totally different person. Like, people come to me all the time and they're at, 250, 500,000 a year. And like, those are I'm just like, I'm so excited to work with you. And then, people come to me at 2 million a year and I'm like, I'm so excited to work with you. And because they have all the revenue is one part, but like they have all the right pieces in their business for them just to blow up. And I love helping people do that. So like, when those people come to me and my ideal customer, and I know they're my ideal customer, I'm like, yeah, like those are my people. And so it's that feeling of like, those are my people. So that's first. So then the second thing is the second thing is positioning. So how do I need to look to be able to attract that person? Like, what do I need to say? How do I need to say it? How do they need to see me in order to be able to make it so that person, it kind of passes the sniff test per se, okay? And this is like one of those that are, there's no good way to say it, there's really no way to talk about it, because either way you kind of sound a little bit snooty on it, right? Like, how am I seeing it, right? Because you want to be the most authentic self version of yourself, and if you're doing your marketing right, you can be. But it's being able to be intentional about how you come across. Just like a minute ago when I positioned, I didn't say when somebody's at $5,000 a month, because my ideal customer generally is at $25,000 above a month. Right? So it's positioning so that what you say is leading somebody in to say, yes, let me check the box. Yes, they're like that. Let me check the box. That's this. Let me check the box. So the second thing is positioning. And then the third thing is messaging. The third thing is how, and this is a combination with positioning. You can't really do positioning without messaging, and you can't really do messaging without positioning. And so when it comes to messaging, it is, how do I know what mindset somebody's in, okay? How do I know if they're in the sidewalk where they don't even necessarily know the pain or problem? How do I know if they're in the slow lane, which is somebody that's actively looking to solve a pain or problem, or somebody that's in the fast lane that they understand how everything's working, they're ready to make a decision? Because how I talk to somebody is going to change, and people lose majority of their sales to this. 90% of your sales is because you're not doing this one thing. And I'll put it this way: you ever get somebody on a sales call? And you have to go through like the entire why it's a pain, why it's a problem, all these different types of things. You had to go through your solution, how it works, and that sales call is like an hour and a half, and by the end you're like, I am exhausted. That sales call should have never happened, because that's a sidewalker and they should have never been on your phone. That whole process could have happened with the right marketing, all right? Because you only want fast laners on the phone. You only want people on the phone that know they have a problem, know you have a process and methodology, know you're an authority, know you can help them, know that you have proof that you can help them, know that you have a solution, and they're ready to hear simply, does this solution, does this offer work for me? That's the beauty of messaging. The beauty of messaging is makes it so that you're able to bring people to your fast lane, so you can get rid of the people. I would say rid of the people. You can consciously, let's use proper language here. You can consciously help them get to the fast lane through your marketing, instead of you being able to spend 90 minutes when they shouldn't have really been on the phone with you to start with. Okay? So we've got, that's messaging. What else we have? Well, this video is 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Instead of saying anything else, I'm going to get you to opt in to the guide to show you all of this. I'm also going to share with you a couple of blog posts. When I say they're blog posts, these guys are like 10,000 words. They are absolutely ridiculous, and they're going to give you everything you need to understand relevancy and to be able to apply it to your life. If you don't know me, I'm Scott Oldford. You're going to see a lot more from me. Make sure you're on my email list. Make sure you're subscribed. If you like the video. And if you want to see the rest of the ROI method and how to create relevancy for you in an incredible way in your business, which is going to make your life so much easier, see the link below. I will see you soon, my friend.